Alright, welcome to the final match of the Maine Invitational Scratch Tournament for November 6, 2016 here at Yankee Lanes in Brunswick, Maine. I'm James Goulding. Joining me today are competitors in the tournament today, Brian Gaskill and Mike DeSimone.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Got it right.
Nice. Got it right.
I've only bowled with you for a few years. I finally got your last name right. So we had 63 entries today for the tournament. We took 16 bowlers into the eliminator round. Cut score today was 767, so it took a minus 33 to get in.
I gotta say that.
So while he resets that spare, getting the 3-6-10 back up on lane 29, we'll kind of go over things this morning. Like I said, 767 score to get in to the first eliminator round. Took 16 bowlers into that first eliminator round today. Bowled on the Danish Trios 2016 oil pattern, 40-foot pattern. Brian, I'll ask you first. You bowled on this pattern today for the 4 games and then into the eliminator round. How did this pattern play for you? It's probably something that not too many people have seen, but how did you think it went?
It pretty much played the way I thought it was going to play out looking at it on paper. I mean, it had to be fairly accurate. You could use something with a little surface and play. You could do one or two things. You could either play up the lane, somewhere between the first and second arrow, direct, or if you didn't do that, you had to get way left and get on the other side of the track and try and bank it maybe like 20 to 10, 20 to 12, something like that. So there was 2 options, depending on your preference. I saw both work, depending on rev rate, speed, and preference. And now you're seeing the guys are getting in way, way deep because of the amount of games bowled with aggressive bowling balls, and now it's going to be a fight to the finish.
Mike, you bowled today. How did they play for you?
Yeah, I agree with Brian's assessment. I think it'd be fairly accurate. This house with the snappy back ends played well to both styles. I chose, with my low rev rate and ball speed, I chose to do a dolled up storm walk right down, pretty much down 10, 11, and that seemed to work really, really nicely for me. So yeah, I agree. It's a pretty nice house when you get a nice volume of oil.
Yeah, the funny thing is here, and we actually had bowlers skipping more pairs than we normally do because they give us basically the whole bowling center to use. And I find in this house, it does seem to be a little more pair specific or end specific, where the low end and the high end do play a little bit differently. So at least everyone got a chance to bowl on both ends of the house, so kind of evened it out that way a little bit, So tried to kind of keep that as even as possible. So we'll all just run down who made our qualifying list today. Top seed, I'll just run right down through, was John Bercier, and then Tyler Copeland, Joe Ramsdell III, Stephen Dale, Tony Fernandez, Scott Medore, Scott Moore, Joe Colcord, Steve Ferraro, Brian Gaskill, Valerie Bercier, Adam Mishu, Mike Klosin, Jimmy Clark, Steve Hardy Sr., and our cut for number 16 was Mallory Nutting. So for our first eliminator round, we took 8 into the second eliminator round. So the ones that made the first cut for the eliminator were Mike Klosin with a 438, Scott Moore 438, Jimmy Clark 436, Tyler Copeland 422, John Bercier 420, Stephen Dale 419, Mallory Nutting 414, Joe Colcord 412. And finishing out spots 9 through 16 were 9th place, Steve Hardy Sr., 10th, Joe Ramsdell III, 11th, Valerie Bercier, 12th, Brian Gaskill, 13th, Tony Fernandez, 14th, Steve Ferraro, 15th, Scott Medore, and 16th, Adam Mishu. In this match here, we have Stephen Dale came out strike spare. Mike spared that leave in the first, struck in the second. To give himself a 10-pin lead if he strikes here. Mixes it up, keeps the match even. That ball definitely made it all the way back. I was a little worried that might make it back. We saw actually Stephen, I think, 2-8-10 on a hit similar to that in the semifinal match. It didn't cost him against John. He ended up winning the match, but definitely seems like if you get it out a little, leak it out a little bit early, yeah, it doesn't really want to make that corner, but you still have to get it there,
The left lane definitely going to be the key to who wins this match, who figures out the left lane. Watching the last match with Stephen and John Bercier, the left lane, it definitely looks like the more volatile lane, and you could definitely get it to go through the face, and if you try and go around that spot, it doesn't want to hook down lane, so I think whoever figures out the left lane is definitely going to win this game.
It's a great assessment. You see Steve come in, leave a little high 4-pin, got the 9 out though, so no 4-9. While we have a minute, we'd like to thank our tournament sponsors, Brunswick Bowling, again, for providing us with a bowling ball for every tournament to raffle off. This month was won by Chris Goulette, one of our youth bowlers. I'd like to thank Knockout Ball Cleaner, John Bavoy, for Bowl Pro Sales, providing one every month. This was won by Kayla Burgess this month. I'd also like to thank Joe Kenny of Maine Clockworks. And actually, Joe wasn't here today to bring the clock, but whoever wins the tournament, he's definitely going to give it to me, and I'll make sure the tournament champion gets to them, not a problem. Joe's been really tied up with a lot of work, working about 80 hours a week right now, so he just couldn't make it today. I'd like to thank Aaron Thibotot and Tebow Art for providing a beautiful framed hand-painted picture for our tournament champions, so thank you, Aaron. And Twisted Tees, they're one of our new sponsors. They provide each tournament champion with their custom-designed t-shirt. You can get a hold of them at 207-629-8125 or on the internet. Just go on Facebook and check out Twisted Tees. Good shot by Steve. Ball just never quite got through the pins the way it needed to get that 10 out. Steve, obviously, it seems like, Brian, you know Steve probably pretty well. It looks like as the pattern breaks down, he has the ability to really get a little more speed on, just kind of throw it through that when he has to.
That's his MO. That's why he in the old NEBA format, before they reordered for the finals, he won a lot. He's got 9 NEBA titles, and most of those were in the old format before they start. And the further left, the harder you can throw it, the better he gets.
Yeah, and it's impressive to watch.
It's I don't know how he does it. I've watched it. I bowl league with him. He's on my nationals team. I see it all the time, and he does things with a bowling ball that I don't even know how he does it.
Yeah, really impressive to watch him bowl. I was really, really excited that he signed up for the tournament today. Always nice to get a bunch of you NEBA guys up here. You know, we enjoy having you guys come up, and you know, always class acts for you guys coming up here with us. And thank our last few sponsors, bowlingchat.net. They give us the web space for the tournament. Just go to www.bowlingchat.net. You can check out all the information on there. And also like to thank Moore's Pro Shop. They're our longest running sponsor. They sponsor our Bowler of the Year competition. So thank you very much to Scott Moore and Moore's Pro Shop. And actually Scott bowled today and finished in 4th place, losing that first round match to John Bercier. So this match here, we basically had a 2-pin match. Mike can extend this to a 12-pin lead. Really got around that one. Wow, good break from Mike there. He knows it though.
It's that spot. It just won't come. You get it to there and it won't come.
Well,
if you get it inside that spot, it goes right to the middle of the head. It's very good.
You called it correctly. Whoever hits that left lane and Mike got the big break there, take that 12-pin lead. Let's see if Steven can respond here.
It's a great match.
It is a couple of great competitors here.
Mr. Consistency with Klosin.
A great shot there by Stephen Dale. I mean, he's aces on that right lane too. So just to go over our quarterfinal match, John Bercier defeated Scott Moore 232 to 204, and then in our semifinal match, Stephen Dale defeated John Bercier 201 to 182 to set up this match between the number 1 and number 2 seeds. So not surprising to see both of these gentlemen here, both great bowlers, won many tournaments. So this is an exciting match. I was pretty pumped to see these two bowling against each other.
Yeah, because Mike had a chance to strike in his right lane to extend the lead.
Great shot there by Stephen. Yeah, that puts a little bit of pressure back on Mike too, you know, and anytime you can do that, it's a great thing, so. You know, cuts that lead back to 2 pins, so that's a huge shot right there. This is the good lane. Mike has to hit this.
You got around it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom.
Yeah.
Missed it.
The good thing is for him, though, he got the 10 pin out, which a lot of times when you're doing that and the ball's kind of check marks on the back, easy to leave a washout on that. So I'm sure that he'll just take his 6 spare. Mike's a good spare shooter. I expect him to make this and move on to the next frame.
I know it's after that last shot, he playing with his fingers a little bit. I don't know if he had a little issue with one of his fingers.
Mike covers that, no problem. Alright, so 6 spare. Mike has 106 in the 5th, spare in the 6th. So basically now he's down 2 pins to Stephen Dale. You know, Steve takes the lead on the bench. That 6 count was a big pin count right there. That was huge.
Can't quite make out the ball from here. I can't tell what Mike is throwing. I know Steve is throwing a radical ridiculous.
Yep, that's 100% correct.
Yeah, it looks like a street fight.
I believe it is a street fight. He was in a little on that one. Definitely had to make the move. He didn't want to skip further out, like you're saying, Brian.
Way further left to get away from that hang spot.
Yeah, and that's, you know, he's an experienced bowler. Definitely, he knows what to
Deeper in
do.
the front of the lane, deeper in the break point, he got away from that spot where it goes down lane.
Absolutely the right adjustment there from Mike. Great shot. See if he can stay hot on his right lane. Nice shot by Stephen Dale. Now he's got a 12-pin lead. Boy, back and forth these two. I wouldn't expect anything less out of these two competitors, though. This is a fun match to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure Mike's been one of the hottest bowlers in the area for well over 6 months now. He had a great run at the Senior US Open. In the High Hopes tournament last year, he's been bowling really good.
Yeah, and one of the PBA 50 events recently, he bowled really well too. So.
And it's been a long time since Steve's been in a spot like this in a tournament, and I can guarantee you that he's feeling it right now. So I would expect nothing less from that right there.
Boy, that was 10 back. I mean, right off his hand, you can tell he just absolutely nutted that one off his hand. Great shot by Stephen Dale. And now this is a position, you know, Mike finds himself in, you know, all of a sudden he's got a strike, he's down 22. He's got to throw a couple here to get back within 2, but right lane, I expect him to make a much better shot than last time where he just kind of lost it off his hand, it looked like. That was much better ball. Oh,
a good result.
Wow. Good shot there.
Good pitch.
Yep. So I'd like to thank everyone here at Yankee Lanes, Nelson Moody and all of his staff for having us here again today. Gracious hosts. We're always appreciative to come back to this bowling center. This is where we've held our big M.I.S.T match play bracket challenge a couple years in a row. I'm sure we'll be back here again. Oh, Mike looked like he's stuck on that one a little bit. Missed that one. So we have Jimmy Clark here hanging out. What's going on, Jimmy?
Not much, guys. Just watching this tight match here. Tough conditions. It's so easy to grab the ball. It's kind of like watching them guys at the U.S. Open right now. The shots there, throw good shots and strikes. I think everybody sitting here right now will tell you that if they threw a pretty good struck.
Yep.
Question and the big.
Nice shot by Mike. Good comeback, friend.
Trust it like that. You throw Mike's on a street fight right now.
Yep.
You trust it. Bang. Street fight is one of those balls. I believe as they've tested it, is that 8% more kinetic energy, a little thicker cover. Leading into that, it's on that guy. The Quantums had that even thicker cover for 13%.
Well, just a little tight.
Stephen Dale throwing it ridiculous.
Yeah, he's throwing it ridiculous. He's been throwing that all day.
I think he switched to it, like he said later on in the qualifying block. He just needs something that was a little bit less of a ball, a little less aggressive. I'll tell you what, right now it looks awesome.
It looks great in his hand, you know.
Makes me second guess some of the stuff, the decisions I made earlier as far as throwing the fire quantum, maybe doing something a little weaker.
Yep. Good cover there by Steve. So, you know, he carries a 33-pin lead through 9. You know, Mike with a strikeout.
9 on the first ball is a lock winner.
9's a lock. Yep, that's right.
Any mark
Yep.
or 9 on the first ball is a lock winner.
That's what he needs. You heard it from Brian. He's 100% correct. 9 here or any mark.
Yeah, you'd be the mathematician, but here it is. This has not been the easiest thing.
It's left lane.
Watch him do
Brian.
something that's a little
This is
crazy.
that left lane. What are you talking
Nobody
about?
wishes that, but anything happens in bowling.
There it is. There it is. Great shot to lock one out by Stephen Dale. Absolute dead nut. Yep. And you kind of probably figured that, right? I mean, he had to get in there, just sit there and throw it a little harder, a little tighter, and 10 back. Great ball.
His game's definitely a little bit of ball speed.
Yeah.
He always controls the pocket. He's definitely a competitor. Brian knows. He's seen him in a lot of different tournaments. This guy that just gave a little bit more recognition to people. You've seen this guy. Steve Dale throws a little bit of speed, speed being the #1 factor to knock pins over.
Fantastic.
Kept the ball in play. Nothing hurts.
Hey, great job today by Mike Klosin, too. Not to take anything away from him. Listen, yeah, he ran into a buzzsaw there with Stephen Dale. And Stephen Dale was not going to let those mid lanes be his undoing. He said, you know what, I can just throw it through those mid lanes, get the ball into the pocket, save energy. Great game. 226 there for Stephen Dale. Absolutely. And Mike covers up the spare. So thank you very much to everyone for coming out and bowling today. Like I said, we had our 63 bowlers today. Next month we will be at Spare Time Recreation in Lewiston, Maine on December 11th. We'll open up entries for that probably early this week. Again, Brian, thank you so much for coming up. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike, for getting in the booth. Stephen, great job on winning the title today. Excellent. And we'll see you guys next month in Lewiston.
So, hey.